What's up, guys? It's your strong non-binary anime character Annie.
And I guess I will address the girls and non-binaries of the groups Minty.
And this is FunUntitled, where we serve every podcast with an FU.
So this episode is going to be a bit special because me and Annie always discuss what makes a strong female characters in anime. And we're talking more about mainstream stuff, not like indie webcomics or things, because usually those kind of people are more aware of making females not so,
Cringy?
I'm looking for a word. Whatever. Cringy. Sure. I did make a little algorithm that Annie has not seen. This is just the basics of what I think makes a strong female character, and Annie will critique as she goes along, because that's what she kind of does on a daily basis.
You're talking about the Yashihime episode, I just know it. But just a little precedent. So what I consider is a strong female character is just an interesting character with a lot of agency. And, you know, it isn't just boring and annoying. And I like emotional strength a lot.
I just like badass characters.
Yeah, there we go.
But I hope this algorithm, I call it an algorithm, I don't know if there's a better term for it, but I hope this algorithm kind of encompasses what we both think and what people in general could potentially use if they want to determine if they think a female character is strong. Now, I will admit, this algorithm isn't just like a straightforward math thing. It's very subjective. Each person could take a character, put them through this test, and come out with different results, maybe depending on the time of their life, just being different people or, you know, different characters, or just learning more about a character. And I think life is really a bell curve, so maybe as you read more series and you see better or worse female characters, it could change, you know, what you think.
As a baseline to see if you want to continue with this, so I asked Minty a long time ago, who do you think has the strongest female cast? And Minty said it was Bleach because they were all really strong women. I'm thinking she's thinking about Yoichi. And then I said I think Demon Slayers because Shinobu and Mitsuri was really fleshed out and in-depth.
Which I think is a fair point. I just don't think they appear enough.
That doesn't matter.
Whatever.
And we both agree Black Clover is complete shit.
That's why I made this algorithm. So anyways, let me explain to you the rules of the algorithm. And yes, we'll talk about female characters. This will not really apply to male or non-binary characters. There are 6 criteria, and they make up the acronym female. And each criteria will have a chance to get up to 3 points. You need to get 2 of the 3 points to pass that criteria. And then you need to pass more than 3 criteria to be considered at least an okay female character.
This is giving me How I Met Your Mother vibes about how Barney made all those charts.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite jokes, the hot and crazy chart especially.
Yeah.
Real quick, you should be dating a woman where if she's crazy, she has to be hotter than she is crazy. So you need 2 points of each. If you get 3 or less, you are considered a bad female character. 4 is okay, 5 is moderately okay, and then 6 is a strong female character. F is for fully developed characters, E is for essential to the plot, M is for making their own decisions, or being a master of their own domain. It's a Seinfeld joke.
I don't get it.
A is for appearance, L is for love interest, and E is for emotional evoking. So let's just go through with this and see how you like it, Annie.
I have anticipation.
The first question for a fully developed character is she a fully developed complex character? So Annie, pick a female character that you would like to be put through this test and keep in your mind what kind of score you would give them.
Okay, that's a little hard, but I guess I would like to test Winry Rockbell from FMA, Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, that's actually one I kept in mind.
I will say, beforehand, you asked me to give you a strong female and a weak female. I don't know if this is going to come into play at one point.
You can if you want to also put more females in the test.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to keep track of after a while.
Well, let's do a good female character and a bad female character then.
Okay, because Winry is a good female character. FMA has all good females.
Yes.
And then we'll put, like, Noelle Silva as the bad female.
Oh, I was gonna go Elizabeth Leones from Nanatsu no Taizai because no one likes Nanatsu no Taizai.
I like Black Clover overall. Don't get me wrong, people. I love reading it, but it has the worst female characters except for Leona Vermilion.
We can do Noelle Silva. It's gonna piss some people off.
It's more for them to get in mind of what a bad female character would be and why. I actually don't know if Noelle actually fails this, so if she doesn't fail this, then clearly I need to change this situation. Or this algorithm.
By the way, if anyone actually thinks Black Clover is the greatest anime of all time, pick up any book that's like a staple of shonen.
My Academia, One Piece, Naruto.
Every time someone says Black Clover is their all-time favorite, I'm just like, you clearly never read Hunter x Hunter.
But we will have a Black Clover episode later.
And I will try not to shit on it.
Maybe we'll do it this month. Okay, the first question for fully developed character is she a fully developed complex character? Very subjective, I know, but it's kind of the most important question because I think for me, personality is one of the most important factors. I would definitely give Winry a yes.
Yes.
She has a past. She lives her own life. Her goal is actually really just to help Edward and Alphonse, but I feel like she just has a full character that's in this series for a reason.
You talked about this in another episode where characters should have a life outside of the screen. That's good writing. And 100%, you know what Winry's doing off screen. She has a whole life, fleshed out.
Yeah, and then everyone in Resin Bull knows her. Yeah. They like her.
She has a dog with an automail leg. Hard to miss her.
Yeah. Noelle Silva.
Oh, then Noelle Silva. No, she is not a developed character.
Basically, she's banned from her family, and she's trying to practice her water mage, but you don't really get to see that too often. I have no idea what she does outside of the plot or what's shown.
Okay, look, Noelle, I know a lot of people are going to argue, oh, Noelle's complicated. She went from her powers being, out of control to mastering the water armor. She grew up to being bullied by her siblings to standing up to them. But her personality, you guys. I know a lot of people get mad when I say this female character has no personality, and I know a lot of people are like, what? But her whole personality is standing up to her siblings. That happened once. You cannot say this one moment defines her entire personality.
And just so you know, for Black Clover, we're not caught up. We're only up to the very beginning of the Heart Kingdom. So maybe there's more, but I kind of doubt it. She's kind of a main character, so she's had a whole bunch of screen time to develop more in. But let's not delve too much into Noelle. She's a no.
She's a no.
Second question. Does she have a backstory that explains her present character? Now, there's a yes. So now all these questions is just one question. It could delve into 2 or 3 more questions. But I might want 1 or 2 questions afterwards. So for this one, is Winry a yes? And this goes to one of my favorite scenes of FMA and also one of my favorite scenes of all animes. It's when Winry chooses not to kill Scar, and that is in relationship to her past. But I don't know if that really explains her present character as much.
I'm confused by your setup. Does she have a backstory that explains her present character? No. Does she have a backstory unique to her?
Well, so if you say no, then you have another chance to either get a point or just fail.
It doesn't imply that her unique backstory will explain her as a present character? Or do you mean it's just a backstory that affects her?
It's just a backstory that's unique to her.
Okay.
So maybe it doesn't have to necessarily affect her overall. I don't think to be a fully developed character, you would necessarily need a backstory that explains your character now. If you have something that's very unique.
Okay, I get this. So it's not like a tragic backstory that defines your whole character. It could just be any backstory that only she has in the story.
For this second question, yes. If she doesn't have a backstory that explains her present self, does she have a backstory that's at least unique to her?
I think her backstory does explain her, how she is, because the whole your favorite scene, your hand doesn't hurt people, your hand's to help people, and she had parents that was doctors that died in the war.
That's true.
And also, it kind of counts in her favor, maybe why she's so attached to Ed and Elle, because after her parents died, Ed and Elle was her next line of kin.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so I'll give it to Winry.
I would also give this to Noelle.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole reason why she's part of the Black Bulls, the whole reason why she tries so hard, the whole reason she gets so much anxiety when she meets her older siblings is because of her past. There's a point to Noelle. And then the last question for fully developed character. Does she have a significant character development?
I know we have to give the point to Noelle, but it's like so shallow.
Oh, you think so?
Because no matter what, she does stand up to her siblings during, that whole test.
That is true.
You cannot deny she has character development for 5 seconds.
Oh, so Noelle would actually finish F then.
Yeah, congratulations, Noelle, you get an F.
Shut up. For Winry, I'd actually say no. Because
she did forget Scar.
Does she?
Yeah, and the whole winter thing when she had to... That's the whole scene where she gave her earrings to Ed because she can't wear metal or else she'll get frostbite. And she agreed to travel with Scar. And she was like, hey, I don't forgive you, but I'll work with you.
See, I don't know if that counts as character development. Because that development is like a chain. Like I said, it's very subjective. Some people say yes, some people say no.
Well, let's say for you, it's a no, but she still made a difficult choice.
So yeah, so if you say no to does she have significant character development, I don't think that's necessary for a strong female character. If does she have a difficult choice that displays a sign of maturity? This one I would say yes, and it's everything Annie explained.
Yeah.
The whole her not killing Scar and her for the survival of the group, she will work with Scar. So let's move on to E, essential to the plot. Question 1, depending on the role of the female character, which is probably all side characters.
Let's be real. Should we say this is shonen only?
No, okay, it might be prone to mostly shonen or any action-related series. But I did try to make it seem like this was just for anything.
Okay.
That was my goal, but it might have a hidden bias towards shonen series. As a protagonist, is she the main focus of the plot? As a side character, does she support the plot? And as an antagonist, does she conflict with the protagonist? Yeah, I would say Winry does support the plot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
the whole automail is because of her.
Noelle!
I'm gonna say a hard no.
I would say no too. What's hard about Noelle is that she's part of a group dynamic, so the whole group has to help. Her power isn't too unique where she has to be... Like, Magma could step up and take her role.
You know what's hard about Black Clover? There's not really a plot. It's everyone's just reacting to what's happening.
That's true. And I did learn about the whole... And this is spoilers for all you guys who haven't gone through the whole Elves arc. Her mom was killed by a devil, and that's supposed to support why the whole group needs to fight devils. But it's like, what the fuck? This came out of nowhere.
I'm gonna say no because her powers isn't that unique. Oh, what are you talking about? She went underwater. Did we need that underwater arc? Could that underwater arc just take place on land?
Or they could just find another way of doing things.
Yeah, or literally anyone else's part where we could have just used Finral to teleport in there. We did not need Noelle in any way, shape, or form in any part of the plot.
Second question. Does she take an active role in solving problems?
Okay, if Ed ruins his automail and Winry fixes it, is that solving a problem? Or do you mean more like grand scheme of things?
It could be both, to be honest. Winry's a yes because, again, she's the only one who could do this for him. So no was an obvious fail.
Yeah.
If you don't take an active role. Because you can't just sit on the sidelines and do nothing. Noelle's, I think, is probably a yes too.
But question, why do you have to be irreplaceable in your role?
Because for a female character... Okay, so next question if you say yes is that you have to almost kind of be irreplaceable in your role of this. Because for female characters, they're so easily replaced by a male character to do the same that it's like, why make the character female then? Now remember, this isn't just characters in general. This is about a female character who gets sidelined a lot. And for you to be a strong female character, you do have to have a role that's almost irreplaceable. It's a tough criteria.
Okay, this is something I don't agree with because you have Urza from Fairy Tail, let's take for example, and I think she's a decent female character. But her role in problem solving is mostly to fight, correct?
Right.
She could be replaced in that role with literally anyone else from Fairy Tail.
In a sense, yes.
So, but does that make her an instant fail?
For this question, yes.
Okay.
But not for the whole thing.
Okay.
That's why this algorithm is more complicated. It's not just like, oh, getting as much points as you can. Because you could score perfectly on F and M, but if you fail MALE, then you're not,
Okay.
So failing one question doesn't make you a bad character. Winry is irreplaceable because she's one of the only auto-male characters in FMA.
Yeah.
Noelle is replaceable because it's just her being a strong mage. And again, it's kind of a tough criteria in some of these cases because female characters get shafted so often. Third question to essential to the plot. Is her main purpose to only initiate the plot? If it's a yes, that is an automatic fail. Example I'm actually kind of thinking about is in a sense Elizabeth Leonis.
Oh, gotcha.
She comes in, she gets Meliodas, but is she truly needed afterwards? And for me, when she becomes an angel, she's almost a different person.
Yeah.
So that part, it's a gray area, but I don't really like to count that towards her because she's not the princess anymore. She's not the human who wants to... Well, okay, she's still the person who wants to save all of humanity.
Yeah, let's make it simple. Her, Elizabeth Leonis' plot role in the story was to get the 7 sins together to save her kingdom. Literally, after that, she was not needed.
Right.
So she fails. But for Noelle, Winry's no, right?
Really, no, because this plot, she does not initiate the plot at all, and neither does Noelle.
Yes.
So No goes to a secondary question. Is her purpose necessary for the plot?
Winry, I would say yes, because the Full Metal Alchemist, you're not an alchemist without your automail.
Right. Noelle, is her purpose necessary for the plot? It's hard because, like I said, they made her mom the whole devil thing, so they wrote in a purpose. It's not the best well-written purpose, and it's so left field, I don't get it. So I want to say no, but it's like, it's written to be purposeful.
I think we can't answer this one for Noelle because we haven't caught up with Black Clover, but she already failed E, so...
So let's move on to M.
So when we passed F and E, Noelle failed F and E.
No, she passed F.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, she failed E.
I did that cool joke.
Oh god, what, that's just a male then?
No! Because I just said, she gets an F.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry, okay?
The first question and probably M is one of the most important things, maybe for me, not for everyone else. Probably for Annie, it's the second E, emotion evoking. But, so the first question for M is the plot the result of her own choices? She gets the points if it's a yes.
Isn't that hard for a side character?
Yeah, but that's why...
There's a lot of caveats here.
Yeah, so no is not an automatic fail.
Okay.
It's no for both of them.
Yeah.
Because neither of them resolves plot because they're side characters. So the second question is, does she take on the plot as something she wants to challenge? Yes is a point, no is not a fail yet.
But Winry is yes, right? Because she is trying to help Ed with whatever he's doing. She's not sitting by.
That is true. That's a good point. I think Noelle is a yes.
Okay, yeah,
okay. Like she fights them without any qualm. So they're both a yes. But if either of them answered no, this third question, which yes is a fail, no is a point. Does she act as the damsel in distress?
Elizabeth Leones, let's go!
Right. She always is the damsel in distress. And I know you might be thinking of the cool scene where she steals the bell from one of the knights, but she got her ass kicked and there was no contingency plan after that. So
very emotionally strong, but even I can't defend you, girl.
At least not for this question. But
it's so hard because there's not a lot of damsel in distress that we can say off the top of our heads. Because if they're damsel in distress, they don't exist to us.
Yeah. Second question. Does she initiate conflict? And neither of these is a pass or fail. If she does initiate conflict, if it's yes, is it for a good reason? Yes, it's a point, right? Because if you're going to initiate conflict, you need a good reason. No, then you fail. And good reason is subjective. If it's something petty, yeah. I'd say it's a bad reason.
I have a question. Does Noelle count as initiating conflict because she wants to go after the devils for killing her mom?
In a sense, yeah, I would. And it's a good reason. It doesn't even have to be something as plot related too.
Yeah.
Like when they were underwater and they forced her to play into this game.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't really inflict conflict. But, so the no part, if they don't initiate conflict, is it because she's stupid or useless?
Very harsh wording, by the way.
She doesn't initiate conflict, and it's just because, I'm like a ditzy blonde.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't realize what's going on. If she's stupid and useless, she failed. If she's not stupid or useless, then she gets a point. Which, to be honest, no matter what you say for when we were Noelle in either categories, they would probably get a point.
Yeah, no matter what. I have a question. No, never mind.
So actually, they both pass making their own decisions.
I was gonna ask if Nami and Robin, where do they fall? Because they don't really initiate conflict, but they're not stupid or useless.
Right. This is basically to be the catch-all for the blonde ditzy stereotype, right?
Okay.
Does she live in a patriarchal society? Because females in patriarchal societies always get shafted in the most horrendous way. Or they're not.
What are you thinking about in particular?
Nothing really. I mean,
okay.
I guess I'm thinking if in Victorian era or feudal era. I don't know. Sometimes I see those people get shafted and it's really heartbreaking. As also, if you take the opposite role, you're the inspiring woman of that era, trying to be a trendsetter in a time where females are subservient. So no, you get a point because you were born in the right time, I guess. Yes is not an automatic fail though, because like I said, is she actively trying to overcome her fate? Yes, she gets a point. No, she fails. This doesn't apply to Noelle or Winry because neither of them lives in a patriarchal society and they already passed the first two. Okay, then let's just move on.
I was warned beforehand I was gonna get mad at L, so A is gonna be the last chill letter. So what's our score so far?
Winry has passed 3. Noelle has passed F and M.
If Noelle gets deemed as a good character, you have a janky list.
Whatever. So let's move on to A, appearance. And first question of appearance is her presence known for more than 2 moments? And usually these moments is her introduction and the introduction of her powers.
So is this just her 2 most famous moments? Or do you mean like all the moments?
Of all moments. So, like, does she shine for more than just really 2 moments?
So this is just kind of like her famous, like that everyone knows her for.
I guess so, in a sense. Like, I just said introduction powers because that's usually what she comes in for, and then for the rest of the plot, she's just a nobody.
Can we say Noelle's no?
In a sense, you could put her as no.
I guess it's preference.
Um,
Cause she's there. She's just mostly there to be like, stupid Asta!
yeah, like those moments don't count. Those are just like so trivial and whatever. Not funny, it's not cute. I mean, some people might call it cute, so maybe you put in a yes for that. I'd put in a no too. The big example for this one was Trish Una from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5.
Okay, gotcha. I got it.
She's there to introduce the plot, not really seen ever until she gets her powers, and then back into the sideline, which is a total, like, fail.
Hey, no one said JoJo made great women.
That's why they have very little.
Yes.
Winry's a yes.
Yeah, 'cause I really like the scene where she starts beating the shit out of Elle. Because like, how dare you believe you're not actually Ed's brother?
Yeah, and she's the only one who could do that. And then, you know, them in
Resin Bull?
Resin Bull, or when they went to the Automail City.
Yeah, gotcha.
Very cute. That's a yes. Second question. And appearance has so many meanings that I had to kind of accompany all the meanings. Second question. Is she in a series with twice as many male characters?
The Naruto ratio.
The Naruto ratio.
Where literally every ninja team has 2 men, 1 female.
Yeah, so if it's a no, then you pass. Numbers mean something, in a sense.
It reflects a lot about the writer.
Yes, but that doesn't mean yes is an automatic fail. So both Winry and Noelle would actually be yes. And I guess Shoujo and Magical Girls would be a no.
Yeah.
So then the second question, is she as important as the male characters? I have to give both of them a no, unfortunately.
Oh, interesting.
Because
Fair enough.
in terms of plot, both Noelle and Winry are not that important.
Yeah.
Izumi would be a yes because she is one of the 5 people that is needed for the homunculus to turn the country into a transmutation circle.
Yeah.
But Winry is a no.
Gotcha.
So they would both fail it. But this one I think is extremely hard to pass for any female character. Unless you're like Maka from Soul Eater and you're like a protagonist. And then the third one, which is just to help, is her character design appropriate for the plot?
We can fail Noelle, right?
We're gonna fail Noelle because...
Giant boob window.
I mean...
No boob support whatsoever.
Her outfit is just like, yeah, I'm like a royal sassy brat, and isn't it obvious from the way I dress?
It's
like for someone with water powers.
Okay, if I even remember correctly, I don't remember Noelle's design off the top of my head. I believe she does have a bikini bottom though.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, it's very sexualized though.
Low cut.
I don't get Noelle's pigtails. I get it. She looks cute, but it kind of goes against everything she stands for because she's trying to be like a mature, like adult, you know. But then she wears pigtails.
And why does she not have the same hair as her family?
Oh yeah.
They're part of your family, right? And I know the mom doesn't, but I'm guessing Noelle's a bloodborne, so she's gotta like have the weird slick back hair.
I think it would have been cool if Noelle had a hairstyle that was kind of obviously like her trying to imitate her siblings, and then her character growth is her getting her own hairstyle.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And hindsight's a bitch.
Winry's obviously a pass. It doesn't really matter what she wears.
Yeah, and she was very just simple outfit, to be honest.
I like her shirt with the white jacket and the black top and the skirt.
I'm sure she had a lot of gay awakenings in people when she wore that tube top. Just saying.
The red bandana.
Yeah.
Ugh. And she also had multiple piercings.
Oh yeah.
Which is nice.
Which became like a really nice moment between her and Edward.
So that's A. So then we move on to L, which is love interest.
They're nice. I'm just gonna say, favorite character, Juvia Loxa from Fairy Tail. Favorite character from KNY, Mitsui Kanroji.
Stick with Winry and Noelle.
I'm watching you.
Love interest is here because a female character is usually just always ends up just being the love interest for the male character and never really having their own like character. You know?
So I'm looking at this list. Yes, there's a lot of caveats. No, 3 points.
So the first question is just, does she have a love interest? To no, she automatically passes. Because it's just very annoying sometimes when a girl has a love interest.
What if her love interest is a girl?
I would still say no. Because lesbians is always fetishized a lot by men.
Fair enough.
Like Annie said, there's a lot of caveats to does she have a love interest. So you'd have to get 3 yeses from here, from the caveats. So the first one after that is the love interest actively committed to them? No, then it's a fail. Yes, there's another caveat to that.
Where does Winry go?
This is I think would be highly debated from person to person.
Yeah.
Because when I was thinking of actively committed to them, I was thinking more of like you are a partner. You are both in agreement to what the relationship is. But what's hard is because they get married in the end, so it's a yes. And then I just put another caveat to the yes, is the love interest committed due to love. And this is strictly love interest relationships, right? Romance. If the couple is romantically interested and they both are aware and made a commitment to each other, then it's fine. So if it's commitment due to love, then it's a yes. If it's a no, it's a fail.
Were you thinking of Death Note?
Oh, I couldn't think of an example, but I just, like, if she's in love and he's just manipulating her, then that's clearly a fail, but Death Note is definitely a good example of this.
Yeah, Misa Amane.
Oh, so sad.
So, Noelle's no, right?
Noelle's a no, because Asta
does not give a shit.
Yeah, he's not interested in her at all. Second question. Is she mainly interested / associated with her love interest? Yes, fail, no, you got a point.
So she can't be super into her love interest?
She can't just, like, the only thing you know about her character is that she's in love with someone else.
Should I leave? I feel like I gotta leave. Okay, bye. Have fun with the rest of the episode.
If you don't know why Annie's upset, and you don't know Juvia from Fairy Tail and Mitsuri from Demon Slayers, they're both very lovey-dovey characters. I would actually say Mitsuri wouldn't fail this, because does she technically, you know what, she does pass this, because in the end she does get married.
Does Juvia pass the first question? I gotta know if I need to stay here. I'm guessing no.
See, depends on what you think, right? Because by Japan's standards, you don't need to say, I'm in love with you. If your actions are talking of loyalty and commitment, you could argue...
What's your opinion? I think that's the $1 million question.
I would say no.
So that beautiful scene where Juvia dies for Gray and Gray's like, I'll be more honest with my feelings, and then the last chapter when they're totally together means nothing to you.
Oh, Gray's such a tsundere that's like
he has commitment issues.
And the whole point of this first question is about commitment.
Okay, and whatever, next question. Are they mostly associated with their love interest? I think they both pass because I think we know Noelle for more things than just being the girl in love with Asta.
But every time she sees Asta, or thinks about Asta, it's just like remotely related to Asta, it's always about him. The sibling thing is so... I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess the only two things you know about Noelle is that she's in love with Asta, and she's trying to get the approval of her siblings, which by definition is not a majority.
Hey, Mint.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump ahead and looking at your last question for this love interest. I'm gonna read it out loud because I feel like it's a jab at me. Is she overly subservient to her love interest?
Kind of relates back to is a love interest committed due to love. You just don't want her being manipulated or like being played with or like just like what if it's like a love triangle, right? And okay, well, actually, this has nothing to do with this question. It probably has more to do with the other question. Well, if you're part of a love triangle and you are clearly the girl who's not gonna get together with the guy, your character is written poorly.
You know what? I don't care. Who passes, who fails, I don't give a shit no more.
Well, okay, Winry is not subservient to Ed, and Noelle is not subservient to Asta, so I guess they both technically passed the L for love interest. I think Winry has passed every single one, and I think Noelle has passed 3. So she's almost close to reaching the threshold.
Okay, let's see what E is.
So we move on to E, which you guys can already see, but, let's just get real close to it. Make that in the nice center of the screen.
I have the rules up there just in case y'all forgot.
In case y'all forgot. So E is for emotional evoking. To be honest, I actually didn't remember you wanted to have that a strong female character was about emotions. I just put this in because I think there's not many reasons why you would choose a male character or a female character. I mean, gender is a social construct. When you think about, stereotypes and, old, thinkings of reasons, because females are technically what brings, the emotion into a story, that Okay, if they're gonna be in it, they might as well do it well. So the first question is, does she have a moment that genuinely evokes emotions? And this is also another very subjective question. There's no like obvious yes or no.
Winry's obviously yes.
Oh my god, when she didn't kill Scar, I think that was like the first time I was like, whoa.
If anyone says no, Winry doesn't have any emotional moments, then you're sexist. I don't give a shit. I'll make that statement.
Noelle?
I'm gonna say a hard no.
I don't remember any. There could be. I mean, I did like it when she first did the sea dragon roar, and it was a very powerful and moving moment for her. But it wasn't like, it didn't really evoke too much emotion besides a little bit of pride for her.
I think I know what scene you're talking about. Is that the one where she first does it with the Black Bull members and they were like, oh, that was so cool? Or did she do it when she was going to the Underwater Kingdom?
The one where she's in the Underwater Kingdom.
Okay, I don't have the best memory for some things, but I remember things that I like. So if I don't remember that at all, it went underneath the radar, so she gets a no.
Yeah, I liked it, but again, it's not the most evoking of emotions. Second question, does she have a backstory that genuinely evokes sympathy? I could honestly say yes for both Winry and Noelle.
I'm really biased against Noelle because when I was little, our cousin made us watch this show. I think it was called Kadocha.
Oh, okay.
And the boy in that anime, he had the whole backstory of, when I was born, I killed my mother during the labor, so my father blamed me for her death.
It's a weird staple in Japanese manga, and it's like, why? What the heck? What? How come?
I just realized something. Noelle's mom got killed by a demon? Devil?
I don't know. Okay, I just got to that.
Because didn't they all hate Noelle because her birth caused the mom to die?
Yeah, and that's why Noelle's super pissed, because she's like, oh, maybe this isn't my fault then.
I couldn't kill a Black Clover. But yeah, every time I think about Noelle's past, I just think of Kadocha, and it ruins the mood for me.
Yeah, it's weird. But, Winry's parents dying is extremely sad, and how she finds out, and that they were, like, doctors in a war, so it's like, how could they,
Yeah.
They shouldn't even be in the crossfires. And then, Noelle's thing, because, like, it's not her fault her mom died.
Apparently, it's super not her fault.
Wow. We'll see, right? I'm sure those of you who are super caught up with Black Clover probably have a better understanding of what's happening. But no, it's not an automatic fail. And then it's like, does she have a backstory that is inspiring? Again, this is just about having like an emotional background because female characters are emotional, which is a sexist thing to say in its own, but this is how people are thinking, and it's, whether it's consciously or subconsciously.
I wanted to put Sakura and Ino from this category. Does she have a backstory that invokes sympathy? No, it's just two girls fighting for a dude. Does she have a backstory that is inspiring? Sure. They kind of, I don't know, maybe.
Ino, no.
Okay.
Sakura, maybe yes, because I like that it's about her accepting herself and her flaws.
Yeah.
And, like, having enough balls to, like, even though she doesn't think she's the prettiest girl,
yeah,
she's gonna go after the hottest guy. Again, subjective. Third one. Is she emotionally invested in others? I will admit, now that I say it out loud, it kind of gives a disadvantage to, like, aloof characters.
This is a tough question because you have Setsuna from Yasuhime who's aloof, but she's still emotionally invested in. Is she actually?
I think she is, because I think otherwise, I think the main thing about this question is like, is she interacting with the group? Because no matter what, it's never there's rarely a solo series. You're always in a series with a group of characters, or you're within a group. So are you mingling?
So I would say Winry and Noelle would then pass both of this.
They would, yeah. Because they're not aloof characters.
Yeah, Noelle acts aloof, but she actually does care a lot about people. Like that girl who sang.
Yeah, I think Noelle has been opening up herself to, like, commoners and people who are not of, like, royalty like her. So Noelle's a fail, but yes, there's a caveat. Because yes is it only romantically? So is she just, like, the crazy love girl? Not saying Mitsuya or Juvia are. If they're only interested in other people romantically, then it's a fail. And if it's a no, then you get a point. So of course Winry and Noelle passed that.
So that means Noelle passed E.
Yeah, so technically Noelle is considered an adequate female character.
So we gotta throw this whole chart out.
Nah, I worked so hard on this.
How did you fail us?
I don't
You should have
know.
task ran it.
I did test run it.
What character?
Winry. Whatever. Black Clover is overall a good series. I hate that series so much.
You know what we should have put in that would have been who would have failed this spectacularly? The Captain of the Blue Roses.
Oh, Charlotte.
Oh, so what a terrible female character.
Ugh.
I don't know why we didn't just do her.
It's too easy to do side characters and have a side character fail this.
Oh.
It's harder with like a second day duotary character. That's how you pronounce it.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the ride. If you disagree with us, put in the comments why Minty is wrong in the L section. Well, you should take that L.
Yeah, just get one of your favorite female characters, put them through this list, let us know the score and if you agree or not agree, and what we could do to improve this, because I think it's important to always talk about strong female characters since there's very little of them. Yeah, so thanks guys.